Catching crayfish in Calgary. A record number of invasive northern crayfish has been counted in one of Calgary's northeast water bodies this past week by a volunteer advocacy group, Save Nose Creek. The group has been testing Nose Creek each week since June for water quality, chemicals and invertebrates, as part of their training with Creekwatch Alberta. Usually, they catch 3 to 5 of the mini lobster-looking critters in a span of 30 seconds to 1 minute. But on August 3rd, volunteers tallied up 16 northern crayfish, their biggest count yet, according to Save Nose Creek founder Andrew Yule. "Every time we've gone out, it's just more and more and more. It just shows that there's nothing really stopping this crawfish from multiplying," said Yule. "It's not a great thing to see an invasive species thrive in a creek that you're trying to preserve." Alongside other teams in other areas of the city, Yule says the group will continue its weekly monitoring of Nose Creek until about October, as Creekwatch works on a report with its findings. Parks Canada officials are looking into how a northern crayfish, listed as an invasive species in Alberta, found its way into Banff National Park. The invertebrate, which looks like a miniature lobster, does live in ponds and creeks in other areas of the province, but officials were surprised when they were told they could be in the icy waters of Bow Lake. The discovery brought Parks Canada officials to the area in force, and after approximately a week of searching, they found it. "We captured a crayfish in one of the minnow traps we had set," said Parks Canada biologist Megan Gowdy. "The creature, measuring about 8 centimeters long, may be small but can have a huge impact on a fragile ecosystem." According to the Alberta government's website, northern crayfish like to live in freshwater streams, lakes and rivers with lots of plants, rocks, mud and silt. They also prefer to be fairly deep, up to 10 meters, so they can withstand an Alberta winter. Once they're there, the government says the crayfish can impact available food supplies, and have negatively impacted the populations of many of Alberta native and endangered species. As for how the critter got there, it likely got some help from one of the thousands of visitors to the park every year. Alberta lobsters, also known as crayfish, crawfish, or crawdads, they exist in several creeks and streams in Calgary and elsewhere in North America, and come with restrictions. However, for most of Alberta they're freely available for anyone that wants to go out and catch them. There is no license required, and there is no limit to the amount you can harvest. In fact, they're an invasive species within Calgary, and it's unlawful to possess live crayfish. If you plan on heading out to catch up some dinner, you'll need to kill them right away. Crayfish are native to the Beaver River system. However, they appear to have been illegally introduced into many Alberta waters, and may be adversely affecting aquatic ecosystems. Some people have expressed a desire to consume crayfish. In all waters other than the Beaver River, people may catch crayfish for consumption. Legal capture methods include angling, sport fishing regulations apply, or catching them by hand. No license is required to capture crayfish by hand. The retention and transport of live crayfish is illegal, and all retained crayfish must be immediately killed to prevent the spread of this species. Please help prevent the spread of invasive species. The easiest way to do it is with a couple of people, a basic fishing net and a bucket. Have one person stand in the water with the net, and another person slowly move up/lift some rocks checking for them. Move slowly as not to spook them, or to cause dirt and silt to cloud up the water. Once you see one, have the person with the net position it behind them, crayfish swim backwards, and startle them. Or simply bend over and pick it up with your fingers. Toss them into a bucket to kill later. There are many different recipes for cooking and consuming crayfish, and they all pretty much involve boiling them. Once dropped into boiling water, crayfish will turn a brilliant red color, and take no time at all to fully cook. Make sure not to leave them in the boiling water for too long. Most people eat them the same way, boiled, cracked open with a squeeze of lemon and loads of butter, just like lobster. I would recommend siding with boiled corn, mashed potatoes, cornbread and beer. Cooking. Fill a large pot with water, then add your favorite freshly ground spices and veggies to it. Salt, pepper, onions, garlic, thyme, cayenne pepper, lemons, dill weed, dry mustard, bay leaves, oregano, paprika are common ingredients when making a tasty broth. Boil for 10 to 15 minutes. Prepare however you think best.